so many injuries. The guys who are injured have done an amazing job of staying around the building and being a huge part of the heartbeat of this team. That's sort of the DNA here, and we've talked about it over and over again. So I really focus on that. When you step on the field, we're always playing for each other. That's our strength as a team, is we're playing for the guy next to us, playing for the guys who got injured. We're playing for the city. So you're not playing just for yourself. I mean, part of you got to play for yourself. You got to have that heart, but you got to play. Our strength comes from each other.
Nick, what makes them so effective on third? What makes them so effective on third down? I think they're at 25% conversion.
Yeah.
What do you see from them?
I think the big thing with them, like I said, they play real fast. And the communication, like watching them on film, when they communicate, when they check, when teams are doing different formations and different shifts, you can tell that they have a really good game plan for that moment. They do a great job of film study. You can tell by what coverages they run at specific times. And the key to anything is they play fast. They're not thinking, they're reacting. They're a reactionary defense. So the second the ball's completed, the guys are shooting to it and making tackles really quick. They do a really good job of limiting yak yards. And in third down, sometimes you have to check it down and get those yak yards. So they do a really good job of rallying and stopping them before they get the first down.
Pat Shermer will be on the opposite sideline this week. I'm curious, what impact did he have specifically on you that first season when you played so well?
Yeah, I mean, Pat, he's a tremendous coach. I really enjoyed playing for him, and I'm excited. He's obviously had a lot of success since, and I haven't seen him since I was here last, I believe, so it'll be good to see him and compete against him.
When you said Giants job for him, what was your first thought when you heard he might be taking a Giants job?
I was really excited for him, for that opportunity. I know he's focused on their team, but I'm excited for his opportunity.
Does he like Doug at all? You played for both of them.
They're different. They're different in play calling. They're both very talented at what they do. Obviously, they both. Coach Peterson, has done an amazing job this year, and Coach Shermer's done a great job there, with different styles.
Nick, how are you right now with Doug in terms of him calling the plays for you? Are you kind of on the same page, like when he calls it in?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when Coach Peterson calls it in, I know what he's thinking, why he's thinking it, and that's a good thing. And that's just with the experience you get. The more you play for a coach, the more you understand what they're thinking when they call a play, the more you see them install the plays in meetings, and then you're able to run them in practice and talk to him about what he sees, what you see, and then it's just like anything, you build that relationship. So each week we get stronger.
Are there moments maybe like the back-to-back screen passes where you weren't expecting it? But
No, I mean Doug's. Sometimes, I love it. I love it. That's how I think too. And I think just keeping the defense off balance in those situations, the fact that we're continuing to talk about the back-to-back screens sort of shocking to me, because, it's just one of those things when you're in the game and you play, like, you want to keep the defense off balance. You don't want them to hone in on what you're doing, because if they do, especially this defense, they're very good.
You had success with short, quick passes against Atlanta, Nick. And I think 3 of your drives were like 12, 13, 14 plays. This is a defense that doesn't give up a lot of those long drives.
Yeah.
Is it going to be important to get some chunk plays against these guys?
Yeah, we're going to have to, absolutely, we're going to have to be able to take some shots. I think against Atlanta, they play the different coverage where they try to keep everything in front of them, and Minnesota does a really good job of, they're a little bit more diverse in their coverages. They like to switch it up. They do a good job of rocking and rolling the safeties. And they play a lot tighter down. They're not going to give us as much underneath. So, yeah, we're going to absolutely have to, make some larger completions.
Nick, what do you think it says that, when the season started, both you and Case were backup quarterbacks, and here you guys are, playing for a shot, the Super Bowl and everything? Is that kind of strange?
Yeah, I think the big thing, you just always got to believe, and you always have to prepare. And I know being around Case, I know he does an amazing job preparing and working and just being a great team player. And then, sometimes things happen where, unfortunately guys get injured and you have to step in, and, it's your job to lead the team. And, he's really done an amazing job. It doesn't surprise me. And, that was my job stepping in for Carson to lead this team like I have before. And I think the big thing is you just have to constantly prepare and make sure that you're watching every single rep. Whenever, if you're the backup, you're watching every rep, because eventually, if you do go in, you're going to be glad you did.
Have you thought about how kind of crazy it is that you and Case are about to face off in an NFC Championship game?
I know. I mean, it's pretty wild. Absolutely. I mean, we were on the same team not too many years ago, but that's where like I know. I've said over and over again, Case's success and the way he plays doesn't surprise me because him and I were together and we prepared together. We're around each other every day. But I think the big message there is no matter what happens, you just got to keep believing in yourself, keep working hard, and just never give up.
But
What
how
impressed
difficult is
you-
it for you to do that, to not give up, and while you're waiting for the opportunity?
I mean, I think the big thing is you got to know where your heart is. Why are you doing it? I think that's where you got to ask yourself whenever you play this game, whatever you do. I know I did several years ago. I had to take a step back and say, am I doing this for the right reason? Because if I can't do it with my heart, I can't do it. And I've always said that. I'm not going to do something unless my heart's in it. So when you have your heart in something, you give it everything you have. And I think that's the big thing.
So there was never a moment